So today we're starting a little mini series, kind of a follow-on from some Instagram stuff that I've been experimenting with. Some driver, different builds, different lengths. You titled this little mini series.
Yeah, Building the Beast.
Building the Beast. It has been a really fun experiment. I've done things to the driver in terms of builds and swing weights and lengths and grips that I've never even tried before, which has been a lot of fun learning kind of what crosses the tipping point into, yeah, that doesn't work, or that's offering something new.
No.
This is last year's driver. You guys know I had a love affair with 2020 Sim.
Who didn't?
Anyone I think who used it did.
I know.
This was something that really was good for me. 9 degrees, turned open. At the end of last year, I put Ventus 6X in it, and it was really nice. But open to see if there's something more out there.
I think we can make this into something crazy. Like it'll be you guys had the Franken wedge, and I think maybe a Franken driver.
A little Franken wood, yeah. I think that's what we'd be excited to see. And obviously the moral of the story, the point of the series is to try and open up you guys to think about maybe different ways in which you can try your driver to get more performance. If you feel like you've been locked at a certain distance, you've kind of never really been able to push the boundaries that you see other people pushing, and you've admired their performance with it. This is just to go into the build process with an open mind. I think the driver gives people more scope to do that. The elevated element here, using the T, gives you more scope to do stuff, especially with length. It's just whether you can control it.
Yeah.
So on that note, we are going to position ourselves on a hole, because that's what it comes down to ultimately. Is it going to lead to lower scores? Is it going to lead to shorter clubs into greens, etc.? So we've picked a really tough driving hole.
Yeah. 17
at St Andrews.
So good.
Did you hit the hotel when you played it?
I didn't hit the hotel, but I made a triple.
Did you? At least you're honest. Okay, let's start with a few with the gamer.
All right, so your gamer from last year, 45 inches, D4 swing weight all the way in the toe.
Yep.
Kind of the nice thing with that sim driver, you're able to really dial it in, directionally and stuff like that. Probably a little bit of a confidence boost as well, just knowing you have that bit of a crutch almost.
For someone like me especially, somebody who misses it in that toe section, having more mass behind the strike location, having twist face to slightly offset the start line and reduce that curvature as it comes back, those are all good things for me, positive things. So if I make a bad swing, I know I'm not getting a penalty that's a quick hook or something like that. So that really helped me with my driving with this one. So yeah, let's see numbers. I would expect with the kind of slightly shorter shaft, 165 ball speed is where I normally am with a shaft of this length. It's not until I get into the longer shaft do I start to get it over 170. So I would be pretty pleased if we were in and around that area. Slightly more neutral flight. I backed off that one a little bit.
I was just going to say, you could take it a few more yards over that hotel.
Yeah.
That's better. That's nice.
Now I draw a little bit.
Turn a bit.
Turn a bit. Big bounce.
Members bounce. There you go.
Snuck on.
All right, so first combo that we've built up, we're going Sim 2 8 degree.
Yep.
All blacked out, so it looks really good.
Custom. Thank you, TaylorMade.
Mitsubishi Tensei 1K, 50 TX. And then we've added that Golf Pride Tour Wrap 2G mid, 65 grams on there. So you're able to go a bit longer because you've gone lighter,
Yep.
and then that grip really eats away a lot of the swing weight as well.
It does. It gives us options, doesn't it, on the
Yeah.
build? Because I do struggle a little bit turning it over, or have done certainly in the past, I quite like the mid-size as well. Maybe reduce a little bit of the rotation of the club face, and keep a little more loft on it for longer. So,
and with this longer and more speed, that tackiness of grip just adds a bit more friction. And
it does. Yeah, that was a little add-on. I noticed that when I went from this one, even as I had used it in a previous model I was testing, if the grip lost its tackiness, my speed went down. And then if I just gave it a quick wipe and it felt really tacky, my speed would go up, as much as 2 miles an hour at times. I think sort of grip and friction in the handle is something that is going to be looked at more when it comes to distance. I know this is a big popular grip in the long drive circuit as well. I think for the counterbalance and the tackiness reasons. So let's see what it does.
Definitely.
Okay.
There you go.
It flies in straighter lines, I'll say that much.
Yeah.
I'll be curious what the speed was in that one. Felt a bit quicker.
That was really well struck.
Yeah, that was the best one for sure.
Should spin a bit more. Turn a bit.
Yeah, it is as well. Like, I'm kind of missing these a little bit, and I don't feel like I'm catching all of them, but
Yeah, that was
they're
nice.
very playable.
That sounded really good.
Yeah. Okay, one set with each. We're going to do one more round, get a few more shots. Don't want to give any driver an advantage by going first versus second and being warmed up. So we hit a couple more with the Old Faithful.
Night and day. Top of the morning. Only nice thing about Gorse is it smells great. Nothing better.
It's the best. Totally different miss with this one.
Yeah.
It's a right miss. You think this one curves more than Sim 2?
Yeah.
I do as well.
Yeah. Okay, so interesting little test. Sim 2 with the Tensei 1K50TX, we
Yeah.
can see a little bit more spin.
Welcomed, definitely a welcomed addition.
Definitely, rather than a few of those dive bombers that,
Yeah.
that came out with, you know, with your current gamer. I mean, the ball speed obviously is great, you know, picking up a bunch of speed, going a bit longer. The nice little test was the last year's Sim with the 1K again, putting those two head to head.
That was the validation of it, wasn't it? Because I think it's one thing to test last year's Sim in this build a beast, but that's not really comparing head to head what's been offered.
Right.
I think putting the 1K in there in the end showed us what was available. Because I felt like, for me, the perceived effort was the same, and the club head speed reflects that.
Yeah.
It was just more efficient coming out of the Sim 2.
Definitely.
And it was good. I mean, the delivery and stuff, you know, if you look at the angle of attack, pretty much exactly the same, path virtually the same, and then the face staying a little bit open to the target. That's the driver delivery I want. A little from the inside, face a touch open, push draws. That's ideal.
Love it. Love it. Well, very cool. I know we've got a few more options to try.
We do.
We've got ping head, a Titleist head.
TSI 3 and G425.
G425.
A little bit of testing to be done with those.
So yeah, so exciting to build up potentially some more shafts and tinker with grip weight and even, you know, lighter head weights, heavier head weights. I think will be a cool test to see. I mean, I think the Sim 2 with the 1K50TX is the guy to beat.
It's going to be, and it honestly surprised me because when I tried the 9° Sim 2, it didn't give me this. No. I didn't see this. I struggled to kind of crack 170 ball speed, and it was quite consistent that I was struggling with that. And then when you get the build right, this 50 gram X, rather than using like a 69 gram shaft, this is a 57 gram shaft. That's a big difference. And obviously offsetting it with a little bit more grip weight, it means it gives you the feeling of being able to accelerate that head with a counterbalance feel. So that's why it's build a beast.
I think it shows also that longer drivers doesn't mean necessarily all over the place. I mean, you've hit that on your line all day, and it's not like you're fearing that it's going to go too far left or too far right. It's pretty consistent.
I felt the opposite, to be honest.
Yeah.
I actually felt like the head stayed open for longer.
Definitely.
And that's, you know, the head staying behind the handle. That's obviously what the longer club does. I felt like, to me, it kind of gave me the sense of being able to start it down that right side, and obviously the spin rate as well was what kept the spin axis a little more neutral, didn't tilt as much. So it's never one thing. You can't judge it on the head versus the head, the shaft versus the shaft. We've got a completely different set makeup, you know, than what we had last year.
Definitely. Well, exciting to continue the Build the Beast series.
A few more to come.
Yeah, definitely. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys soon.